My name is Vitel,
I'm Jackie Cash.
My name is Terry.
My name is Andrea.
and this is my story. I was born in Dayton, Ohio. People always ask me, are you mixed or what color are you or whatever. But my biological father is white. They never claimed me. I didn't until later find out that that side of my family was actually racist. So it kind of made me go through a stage where I hated white people because I felt like, oh, well, they hate me, so I hate them too.
My rock bottom was pretty much when I moved down here. And actually, my rock bottom was probably before that. First time I stepped foot in a strip club was my rock bottom. I didn't grow up poor, but I didn't grow up rich either. So I feel like I shouldn't have had to resort to being poor if that's not how, what I grew up. And my only means of income were Social Security. So with that, of course, we all know that that's really nothing. But I needed some way to make some type of money. The only job that I could do for 2 hours a weekend and make the same that everyone else is making in a week was in a strip club.
Around about my senior year, the economic situation in the United States changed, and the steel mills started losing money, and a lot of people started getting laid off of their jobs. My senior year, my parents both lost their jobs, and we lost our home, and that changed the way my outlook for life. Though I still had a positive outlook, it was really hard for us financially because I had been used to pretty much our parents provided a really good home for us and made a lot of provision for us. So things really changed my senior year.
I just started basically hanging out with my friend it wasn't a constructive relationship, and being introduced to other people who weren't doing anything with their lives. I just started falling into a cycle of where every day it was just about smoking, drinking, having fun, hanging out, going to the movies, doing nothing constructive with my life. And what would come along with that? A guy, of course. And so me, being that innocent chick, trying to fit in, trying to do what everyone else is doing, ended up getting pregnant. 19 years old, pregnant.
I don't work well in a strip club, so I wound up doing private bachelor parties, things like that.
I got introduced to crack cocaine, which wound up being the bane of my existence.
That was not something that I had ever intended for myself growing up. It wasn't something that I was ever really showed, or that was something, that whole world I pretty much had to teach myself. And when I moved to Atlanta, I figured there was a way that I could not be involved in the stripping or dancing and still make money was by hosting parties and finding girls for other parties.
Things started to down spiral for me, I guess around the time that going into college and during college, when my most valued possession, which was my virginity at that time, because it was the only thing that was mine, was taken from me.
I find out my dude has someone else pregnant at the same time. Like, what do you do when you're 19 years old, pregnant? You were infatuated with somebody, you think it's gonna last, and you have this fantasy of just having this beautiful baby and being with this guy and having this life, and you got your own place, you think you got it going on, and then you find out that everything that you believe was just a lie.
I had a group of friends, and we were the Virgin Queens. This was something that we did together. This was something that I found some people who were like me, like rare in the world, that people were abstinent and people were not dealing with alcohol, not dealing with drugs, not doing these things that all the other teenagers in the world are doing right now. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're sisters. We need to make this pact, and we got rings and we wore our virgin rings and all this stuff, and this is what we did together. And this was in college, so this is very rare, I know. So, you know, we stuck together on that, and unfortunately, someone decided to take that from me. So, that was when things really started to down spiral for me.
My father was a very strict disciplinarian. He did not play the radio.
I just remember growing up, my grandmother always being there, taking us to church. We had to go to church no matter what. Rain, shine, sleet, snow. Whether we were sick, she would just say, go to church and get some prayer, you'll be better.
My grandmother, you'd have to either do a poem or a story or some kind of presentation or something for every Easter and Christmas program. So I started singing songs.
I don't know what else to say about my childhood because I don't really remember much of it. I think I purposely forget a lot of things because I've been through so much, but I don't, like when I really try to dig deep and find, you know, memories and stuff, like a lot of people I know can remember stuff from elementary school and kindergarten and stuff, and I'm like, I don't remember any of that. I just remember being moved around a lot. I remember some stuff that I see like from looking at pictures and stuff from my grandmother's house. I see pictures and I'm like, oh, I remember that, I guess, because I'm able to see it. But most of it is like gone.
I got into pageants and talent shows and discovered that people really liked to hear me sing. They liked my voice, and so that's when my love for music began.
I used to write stories about my family. I didn't really have a lot going on, so I wrote about what I knew about. And that was the start of me just becoming a writer.
I was in theater a lot through school. I even have pictures that, like before I can remember, like in elementary school, I have pictures of stage plays that I did, and I'm like, I didn't know I was in theater that long.
My uncle, he saw this gift in me. He always used to see me write, and he would actually turn on the keyboard and start playing the beat, and I would just start rapping, and he was like, just say a line and then say another line that rhymes. And that's how I got into writing raps and just wanting to be a rapper.
I started doing more things, getting into drama, plays. And I was very popular in high school, did Miss West Side and all that kind of thing, you know, just popular girl and just being very visible. Great student, pretty much A and B student.
I remember, you know, in high school really going full force with the theater.
My teacher, Miss Gillespie, never forget her, she took a notice in me and started entering my writings into contests. She gave me a book about publishing, which showed me how to submit my work to bigger publications, how to start my own publishing company. And I think her doing that really planted an entrepreneurial seed in me. And she also gave me hope, and it gave me strength to just be able to show other people what I was writing. Because when she did that, I started just writing like manuscript. I remember my friend Jamie Campbell from junior high. We used to sit around and illustrate, and started writing a book called Lake Odell High about two teenagers in California. And that turned into me writing a novel, and it turned into writing two novels that I just passed around to my classmates.
I remember taking care of my sisters a lot when we went through a stage where my mom wasn't around as much. I remember being homeless with my mom and my sisters in Pennsylvania. I was probably maybe 13 or 14 at that time, though.
It all started from when I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, sitting around my uncle, writing, him playing that keyboard, me spitting my rhymes, and just developing a love for writing.
So I started out as a small child, maybe 3 years old.
I don't remember it being like bad, though. I don't remember it being scary or traumatic or anything. I just remember that me and my family were together, and you know, we ate every day. We went to school and we had fun, you know, normal kid stuff. It didn't feel any different being homeless then. So it was no big deal to me at that point.
I honestly feel that there are angels walking on this earth. And there's a reason I'm here. There's a reason that I'm not even dead or in jail right now, because there are lots of things I have done that could have put me there. But there's a reason I'm here. I mean, if he wanted to take me, he would have taken me with that blood clot in my head. You are not alone. Just like me, we have all had obstacles that we have had to face. But the question is, what is your ambition? I try to laugh about everything, or make some type of joke. I always ask guys, would they talk to me if I only had nubs on my fingers? If I actually didn't have fingertips and just had nubs. I try to make a joke out of everything. That's the only way that I think I am still here, not from, you know, taking my own life.
I was suicidal. I guess I just didn't want to live anymore.
I've had situations like that, even just not wanting to be here, because I wouldn't be going through what I'm going through if I wasn't here.
Homelessness,
I guess I found myself and lost myself all at once.
hungry, dirty, funky, just anything that you could imagine that would go with that lifestyle. That's what I dealt with.
I'm best friends with one person, and my boyfriend is involved with my best friend's sister's friend. Like,
The habit began to get more and more intense.
drama,
Of course, every penny I made, I smoked it up.
reality TV, yeah, that's drama for you.
The addiction that it just takes over your life.
The person that did this had a family of his own, married with children, and that just made the whole thing 10 times worse.
Somebody very close to me introduced me to the drug.
I didn't know him, but I was friends with his wife.
No longer was it just me and my daughter and her dad, but now it's a whole nother component to this story.
My marriage
No one trusted me, no one believed me.
turned into a shambles because just trying to survive and being a junkie is something that is very, very difficult to do from day to day.
I feel like he set it up purposely that way because it was planned out. It was so much more to it than what people think of, I guess, when they think of rape, like a brutal, vicious attack or something. It was so planned out.
Instead of turning my feelings in on him and taking everything out on him, me and this girl start beefing.
But it was more than a rape.
And this just goes on like crazy.
I was threatened by him,
PPOs, restraining orders, going to jail.
threatening with physical punishment or threatening with a gun. I've had a gun in my face more times than I can count, and I just I just got to where I was just like, shoot me. Like, just please, just shoot me. Just put me out of my misery.
I'm having problems with this girl that I shouldn't even have to deal with.
And I tried to go into the authorities, and that only made the situation worse. That's when I went through my stage of hating police officers, as if I haven't hated enough different people in my life. But I really hated police officers for a long time, because I found out the hard way that when you go and tell them that someone's doing something to you, they go and question that person and tell them that you told them, and that's how it ends. And if that person says that they didn't do it, then they just walk away from it, and then that person's gonna, of course, come back to you that you're the one that told them.
My kid's dad is not acting right.
So I kind of learned to not tell anybody anything anymore, and everything that happened to me I dealt with on my own, because I knew I couldn't go to authorities. I knew I couldn't trust anyone. I knew my mom wasn't going to believe me. Family wasn't going to understand or believe me.
Not knowing where to turn, what to do, what's going to happen, how am I going to salvage this family, or am I even able to salvage it?
All my emotions, everything, didn't share with anyone because it just was too dangerous for me. It would cause more harm than good, and I'd rather stay closed up and safe than open and messed up by somebody else.